Hello and welcome back to day 179 of our Chronological Bible and your reading plan. Today we are back into 1 Kings with chapters 20 and 21. 1 Kings chapter 20. And Ben-Hadad, the sovereign of Aram, gathered all his army, and there were 32 sovereigns with him, with horses and chariots. And he went up and besieged Shomeron and fought against it. And he sent messengers into the city of Ahab, sovereign of Israel, and said to him, Thus said Ben-Hadad, Your silver and your gold are mine, and your wives and children, the best, are mine. And the sovereign of Israel answered and said, As you say, my master, O sovereign, I am yours and all that I have. And the messengers came back and said, Thus speaks Ben-Hadad, saying, Indeed, I have sent to you, saying, Give me your silver and your gold, your wives and your children. But about this time tomorrow I shall send my servants to you, and they shall search your house and the houses of your servants. And it shall be that whatever is pleasing in your eyes they shall lay hold of and take it. And the sovereign of Israel called all the elders of the land and said, Please know and see the evil this one is seeking. For he sent to me for my wives and for my children and for my silver and for my gold, and I did not refuse him. And all the elders and all the people said to him, Do not listen nor agree. So he said to the messengers of Ben-Hadad, Say to my master the sovereign, All that you sent for to your servant the first time I shall do, but this I am unable to do. And the messengers went and brought back word to him. And Ben-Hadad sent to him and said, The mighty ones do so to me, and more also, if enough dust is left of Shomeron for a handful for each of the people who follow me. And the sovereign of Israel answered and said, Speak, him who girds on should not boast like him who lays it down. And it came to be, when this word was heard, as he and the sovereigns were drinking in the booths, that he said to his servants, Ready yourselves. So they turned themselves against the city. And see, a Nabi came over to Ahab, sovereign of Israel, saying, Thus said Yahuwah, Have you seen all this great company? See, I am giving it into your hand today, and you shall know that I am Yahuwah. And Ahab said, By whom? And he said, Thus said Yahuwah, By the young rulers of the provinces. And he said, Who opens the attack? Then he answered, You. And he mustered the young rulers of the provinces, and there were 232. And after them he mustered all the people, all the children of Israel, 7,000. And they went out at noon, while Ben-Hadad and the 32 sovereigns helping him were getting drunk in the booths. And the young rulers of the provinces went out first. And Ben-Hadad sent out, and they reported to him, saying, Men have come out of Shomeron. Then he said, If they have come out for peace, seize them alive. And if they have come out for battle, seize them alive. So these young rulers of the provinces went out of the city with the army which followed them. And each smote his man, so the Arameans fled, and Israel pursued them. And Ben-Hadad, the sovereign of Aram, escaped on a horse with the horsemen. And the sovereign of Israel went out and smote the horses and chariots, and smote the Arameans, a great smiting. And the Nabi came to the sovereign of Israel and said to him, Go, strengthen yourself, and know and see what you should do, for at the turn of the year the sovereign of Aram is coming up against you. And the servants of the sovereign of Aram said to him, Their mighty ones are mighty ones of the hills. That is why they were stronger than we. But let us fight against them in the plain. Are we not stronger than they? Now do this. Take away the sovereigns, each from his position, and put officers in their places, and number an army like the army that you have lost, horse for horse, and chariot for chariot, and let us fight against them in the plain. Are we not stronger than they? And he listened to their voice and did so. And it came to be at the turn of the year that Ben-Hadad mustered the Arameans and went up to Aphek to fight against Israel. And the children of Israel were mustered and were fed, and they went against them. And the children of Israel encamped before them like 2 little flocks of goats, while the Arameans filled the land. And there came near a man of Elohim, and spoke to the sovereign of Israel, and said, Thus said Yahuwah, because the Arameans have said, Yahuwah is Elohim of the hills, but he is not Elohim of the valleys. Therefore I shall give all this great company into your hand, and you shall know that I am Yahuwah. And they encamped opposite each other for 7 days. And it came to be that on the 7th day the battle was joined. And the children of Israel smote 100,000 foot soldiers of the Arameans in 1 day. And those that were left fled to Aphek into the city, and a wall fell on 27,000 of the men who were left. And Ben-Hadad fled and went into the city into an inner room. And his servants said to him, See now, we have heard that the sovereigns of the house of Israel are kind sovereigns. Please let us put sackcloth around our waists and ropes around our heads, and go out to the sovereign of Israel. It could be that he spares your life." So they girded sackcloth on their loins and put ropes around their heads, and came to the sovereigns of Israel and said, "Your servant Ben-Hadad said, 'Please let me live.' And he said, 'Is he still alive? He is my brother.' And the men divined, and they quickly grasped it and said, 'Your brother Ben-Hadad.' And he said, 'Go, bring him.' So Ben-Hadad came out to him, and he let him come up on the chariot. And Ben-Hadad said to him, 'The cities which my father took from your father I return, and put up marketplaces for yourself in Damascus, as my father did in Shomeron.' And Ahab said, 'I send you away with this covenant.' And he made a covenant with him, and sent him away. And a certain man of the sons of the Nebaim, which is the prophets, said to this neighbor by the word of Yahuwah, 'Strike me, please.' But the man refused to smite him. Then he said to him, 'Because you have not obeyed the voice of Yahuwah, see, as soon as you leave me, a lion shall smite you.' And when he left him, a lion found him and smote him." Wow, imagine that. You get mauled by a lion for not hitting your friend. And he found another man and said, "Strike me, please." So the man struck him, striking and wounding. Then the Nabi, which again is the prophet, went and waited for the sovereign by the way, and disguised himself with ashes on his eyes. And as the sovereign passed by, he cried out to the sovereign and said, "Your servant went out into the midst of the battle, and see, a man came over and brought a man to me, and said, 'Guard this man. If he should in any way be missing, your life shall be for his life, or else you shall pay a kikar of silver.' And it came to be, while your servant was busy here and there, he was gone. And the sovereign of Israel said to him, 'Your judgment is right. You yourself have decided it.' Then he quickly removed the ashes from his eyes, and the sovereign of Israel recognized him as one of the Nebaim. And he said to him, 'Thus said Yahuwah, because you have let slip out of your hand a man whom I put under the ban, therefore your life shall go for his life, and your people for his people.' And the sovereign of Israel went to his house, embittered and displeased, and came to Shomeron. Chapter 21. And it came to be after these events that Naboth the Yisraelite had a vineyard which was in Yisrael, near the place of Ahab the sovereign of Shomeron. And Ahab spoke to Naboth, saying, 'Give me your vineyard, and it shall be a vegetable garden for me, since it adjoins my house. And let me give you a better vineyard for it. It is good in your eyes, and let me give you its worth in silver.' And Naboth said to Ahab, 'Far be it from me, by Yahuwah, that I should give the inheritance of my fathers to you.' And Ahab went into his house embittered and displeased because of the word which Naboth the Yisraelite had spoken to him when he said, 'I do not give you the inheritance of my fathers.' And he lay down on his bed and turned away his face and did not eat food. And Isabel his wife came to him and said to him, 'Why is your spirit so embittered that you are not eating food?' And he said to her, 'Because I spoke to Naboth the Yisraelite and said to him, Give me your vineyard for silver, or if you prefer, I give you another vineyard for it. But he answered, I do not give you my vineyard.' So Isabel his wife said to him, 'Do you now rule over Israel? Rise up, eat food, and let your heart be glad. Let me give you the vineyard of Naboth the Yisraelite.' Then she wrote letters in Ahab's name, and sealed them with his seal, and sent the letters to the elders and the nobles who were dwelling in the city with Naboth. And she wrote in the letters, saying, 'Proclaim a fast, and seat Naboth at the head of the people, and seat 2 men, sons of Belial, before him, to bear witness against him, saying, You have blasphemed Elohim and the sovereign. Then you shall take him out and stone him to death.' And the men of the city, the elders and nobles, who were inhabitants of his city, did as Isabel had sent to them, as it was written in the letters which she had sent to them. They proclaimed a fast, and seated Naboth at the head of the people. And it came to be, and the men, sons of Belial, came in and sat before him. And the men of Belial witnessed against him, against Naboth, in the presence of the people, saying, 'Naboth has blasphemed Elohim and the sovereign.' So they took him outside the city, and stoned him with stones, and he died. And they sent to Isabel, saying, 'Naboth has been stoned and is dead.' And it came to be, when Isabel heard that Naboth had been stoned and was dead, that Isabel said to Ahab, 'Arise, take possession of the vineyard of Naboth the Yisraelite, which he refused to give you for silver, for Naboth is not alive, but dead.' And it came to be, when Ahab heard that Naboth was dead, that Ahab rose to go down to take possession of the vineyard of Naboth the Yisraelite. And the word of Yahuwah came to Eliyahu the Tishbite, saying, 'Rise up, go down to meet Ahab sovereign of Israel, who lives in Shomeron. See, he is in the vineyard of Naboth, where he has gone down to take possession of it. And you shall speak to him, saying, Thus said Yahweh, have you murdered and also taken possession? And you shall speak to him, saying, Thus said Yahweh, in the place where dogs lick the blood of Naboth, the dogs are going to lick your blood, even yours. And Ahab said to Eliyahu, Have you found me, O my enemy? And he answered, I have found you, because you have sold yourself to do evil in the eyes of Yahweh. See, I am bringing evil on you, and shall consume your descendants, and cut off from Ahab every male in Israel, both those shut up and those left at large, and make your house like the house of Jeroboam son of Nebat, and like the house of Baasha son of Ahiah, because of the provocation with which you have provoked me, and made Israel sin. And also of Isabel, Yahweh has spoken, saying, The dogs are going to eat Isabel by the wall of Yisrael. The dogs are going to eat whoever belongs to Ahab and dies in the city, and the birds of the Shamayim, which is of the heavens, are going to eat whoever dies in the field. Indeed, there never was anyone like Ahab who sold himself to do evil in the eyes of Yahweh, because Isabel his wife stirred him up. And he acted very abominably in following idols, according to all that the Amorites had done, whom Yahweh dispossessed from before the children of Israel. And it came to be, when Ahab heard those words, that he tore his garments and put sackcloth on his body, and fasted and lay in sackcloth and went softly. And the word of Yahweh came to Eliyahu the Tishbite, saying, See how Ahab has humbled himself before me? Because he has humbled himself before me, I do not bring this evil in his days, but in the days of his son I bring the evil on his house. And that concludes our reading for today. Thank you for joining, and I hope you're reading along. And peace and blessings and love to you. See you in the next one.